Does a cure for cancer exist? Does a cure for AIDS exist? Well, stay tuned to The Different View, and I'll introduce you to a woman that says it's true. Hello everybody, welcome to A Different View. I'm Christopher Hartman, and I wanted you to meet Dr. Hulda Clark. Hi, doctor.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here.
You're welcome. It's nice to be here.
Who is Dr. Hulda Clark? Where did you come from?
Oh, I came from Canada. I was born and raised in Saskatchewan. Then I spent a couple of, I went to the University of Saskatchewan, then McGill University for a couple of years, and then to University of Minnesota.
And what have you studied? What was your background in your study?
Oh, it was very varied. I did that intentionally, and now it's coming to my benefit. I studied biology, botany, zoology, physiology, chemistry, physics, statistics.
So you are a naturopath, right?
Also, yes.
You are a biochemist?
Yes.
And anything else? PhD, did you say?
Yes.
That's a tremendous amount of study.
Well, I did spend a lot of time on campuses.
Now, Dr. Clark, you wrote 2 books.
Yes.
Now, the title of these books is The Cure
These, right
for
here.
HIV and AIDS and The Cure for Cancer. How did you get to write these books? Where did that come from?
It was a body of information that I collected over the years because I was seeing sick people all day long, and after I found that I had discovered the cause, I thought it was too important not to bring that to somebody's attention, certainly the public's attention, if not the scientists' attention. And to do that, I would have to get all my data together and present it in such a way that it could be viewed by others and evaluated.
Now, it says The Cure for All Cancers.
Yes.
How has that title of those books, how has been the reaction or the response of the people?
I think it's been very good, to tell the truth. I use the word accurately. I don't use the word cure loosely. Cure means eradication of cause, and that is exactly what I did. You can't call it remission or improvement or treatment when it is a cure. So I'm being accurate with the term.
How has your peers responded to that?
I think they're responding quite well. I get calls on the telephone from various doctors that I know, and they say they're getting good results. Now, I'm sure there are those who do not get good results because they don't try it and because they don't have confidence that they should try it. Mm-hmm. And I don't hear from them, of course, mm-hmm. but I am hearing the positive results.
Dr. Clark, what is cancer exactly?
It's an attack by a parasite, an unusual parasite, which attempts to reproduce its intermediate stages in you, which is not normal for it to do that. It's not normal. But it does so in certain people. These people have a special attribute, although it is commonplace now, but it didn't used to be commonplace. Mm-hmm. This special attribute is that they do not metabolize isopropyl alcohol, perhaps other isopropyl compounds also. But this is the easiest one to pursue and to get rid of.
You mean isopropyl, the kind that you buy at the store?
Yes, the one that's in common use as a sanitation chemical, sterilizing all the tubing that's used in bottling, for instance, and that's why our food and our products are heavily polluted with it. Not in large amounts necessarily, but you can hardly find a product on the market that isn't polluted with it because it was used to sanitize the bins that contained the material, whether it's a health food or not, and that's why we have such heavy contamination with it.
So if someone has that in their body, does it show up in tests that the doctors can give to you?
I haven't tried to do chemical testing because I developed a new electronic circuit and I do electronic testing. That's what made all of these discoveries possible. You might think, well, it's rather ridiculous that you can find a cure for cancer, which is a fairly large product or achievement, and then in a couple of years find the cure for HIV and AIDS, and there are many other cures on the way. They're already alluded to in there. The reason for that was that there is an electronic way to do all this testing, and it's much quicker than chemical or X-ray or any other method that I know of.
What machine do you use? What electronic device?
I call it a synchrometer.
Is this a new term?
Yes, that's a new term. I describe that in the books. But it's essentially an ordinary little oscillator circuit in which you introduce yourself as a resistance. You put yourself where the feedback resistance is in that circuit.
I see.
And that, you have to read the details of the electronics there, but, it is very commonplace. Any radio electronics person can do it, and I was able to do it because I'm also an amateur radio person.
What is the accuracy of that?
Well, you can measure to at least to 10 to the minus 15th.
What does that mean?
Okay, a very small concentration beyond even immunology. Okay, immunology, you know, is about our most sensitive testing. You've heard of the ELISA tests and immunology tests. They can measure down to about 10 to the minus 12. But I can measure with this to 10 to the minus 15 and better, which is more than 1,000 times better.
More sensitive than the other.
More sensitive.
I see.
Right.
And
so I can find something like isopropyl alcohol in your candy, whereas a chemical lab would not be able to.
I see.
However, if they were to concentrate the candy 1,000 to 1, of course they would be able to.
All right, let's jump a little bit. What is the cure?
Killing the parasite.
And what do you do? How do you do that?
With an herbal recipe. I'm sure it's not the only herbal recipe, but this is the one that I developed to completion over the years so that I know that all the stages, and it's the stages that are important. The adult has lived with us forever and a day. It's a human parasite. But what's happening now is that the little stages that it has to go through are reproducing in us, and those are the things we have to kill. The 3 herbs that kill them all, whether it's the eggs or the redia or the cercaria or myricidia.
These are all the stages.
These are all the complicated little stages, are a wormwood combination, which is easy to get, a ground clove preparation, which is also easy to get.
Just regular cloves?
Regular cloves, but it can't be out of the marketplace because that's too old. They have to be fresh.
Okay. What do you determine to be fresh cloves? Like
fresh ground. You can
fresh
go
ground.
And get, you can go and get whole cloves and make them fresh ground.
All right.
Yes. And the 3rd herb is an extract of the green hull of the black walnut tree.
Now these 3 together.
Together. You have to use them together because you have to kill everything at once. Otherwise one thing turns into the next.
Right, right. How long? How long do you have to take this?
5 days or 6 days.
That's it?
That's it.
And what happened? The parasites are...
Yes. All the parasitic stages are gone. Now, you might think, well, the cancer still goes on, but it doesn't. That was the amazing thing.
Now, how many
apparently,
people... Go ahead.
Apparently, the growth stimulant, you've heard of all these various growth stimulants. They have at least 24 already discovered, like platelet-derived growth factor, epidermal growth factor. The one that this parasite produces or induces is orthophosphotyrosine, a central growth factor that is needed for all mitosis, for all cell division. And here now, with these little stages in your body, they are producing this or inducing it in you. And that's why your cells have to multiply. The good news is that when you kill them, all that growth factor is removed. That excess growth factor is immediately removed. And the cancer stops.
And so the body can then start